Were you ever embarrassed
Yes.
by your parents and because I would think, and I know you probably feel guilty about this now to say it, but you do, right? Because you don't, when you're a kid and you don't fit in and your parents don't speak English, it's a tremendous shame, right?
Horrible. Your name is funny. I mean, nowadays, I think the way that I look, people are like, oh, she's brown hair. It's not that weird. When I came to America in 91, I was ethnic. And to me, I was like, what? Why? Like, it was just everything about me stood out. I didn't speak the language. I wasn't blonde and blue eyes. I didn't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was like a very weird thing where I went to school in a uniform.
Yeah.
In Russia, everybody wore it was communism, so everybody wore it very much like a brown little thing with a,
Right.
So you show up and you're the kid in school with the uniform on, and everybody's wearing, their sneakers and their
jeans.
And jeans.
And I didn't know what jeans were. I mean, like it's like simple, elements of life that you're like, how do you not know what jeans are? I didn't know what jeans were,
And you at 9 years old, you announced, I want to take an acting class.
Yeah.
Which was expensive. It was pricey. Was it $900, something like that?
Well, I always thought it was like $250, and my parents had like $900 in the bank account. And my mom and I were doing this interview, and not that long ago, I learned that it was $890, and we had $900 in the bank account.
Most parents would have said, you know what, we don't have any money. We've got $900, and you're going to take up all our savings.
I know.
And there's no way. Go to a community theater or something and learn how to act there.
There's absolutely no rhyme or reason for what my mom did and why she did it. Mind you, I never got birthday presents, never got holiday gifts. Like, we weren't a family of givers in that regard.
Right.
So the fact that my mom was like writing this, I mean, it's one of those kismet moments that you can't explain.
So wait, let me get this straight. So you take some acting classes. I don't know how long this goes. And then you said, hey, I'm going to go out on an audition. Your mom takes you to the audition?
No. So here's what happened. This story gets weirder.
Okay.
Okay, so I went to a place called Beverly Hills Studios. Total ripoff. 100%. It was like every kid got accepted so long as you had the money to pay. It's one of those schools.
Right.
And it was like 5-6 hours on a Saturday, and you kind of just go there, and you really don't do anything. But
you pretend.
You pretend.
Right.
So my manager, Susan Curtis, who's still my manager to this day, so I'm almost 33, and I signed with her when I was 9.
How do you get a manager when you're 9? Because I'm sure there's lots of little kids out there now who want to be doing what you're doing.
This is all called being the right place at the right time.
Did she manage just all different types of people?
Kids, mostly kids.
Mostly kids.
Yeah, and she was driving by and saw a bunch of kids standing outside, and she was like, oh, what's this place? Literally, on Beverly Drive, pulled over, walked in, and they're like, we're doing a showcase with children. She goes, oh, weird. I'm a manager. And they were like, come on in. That's how great this place was. But my parents told me to decide. And that's the crazy part. Is they were like, go meet with whoever, responded to you. I was 9. And then they were like, you make the decision. You want to do this, be responsible.
Your parents, which I really do applaud, they never took a dime from you.
Never.
Which is unusual when you think about their economic situation.
We were really poor, and I had money.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing about all this. So at 9, when I got the first commercial I went out for, it was like Camping Barbie or something. And
were you actually camping Barbie?
I was one of those girls that, those old school Mattel commercials where you play with the Barbie and you're like, wow, that was me.
You went from commercials and you did a couple of like TV shots on Days of Our Lives. You did Baywatch.
Howard, don't discredit my Days of Our Lives, okay?
No, I'm not. I think that's great training.
A couple of days.
How the hell do you memorize those lines? Did you have a lot of lines? So you went from...
Howard, it was my first kiss.
How old were you on Days of Our Lives?
Probably like 9 or 10.
And you had a kiss from who?
This really sweet boy that I ended up like hanging out with later in life. We ran into each other, and I was like, oh my God, you were my first kiss. I had to kiss him on the cheek. And I was mortified.
I bet. And did you discuss it with your mom? You were like, hey, I don't want to kiss
No. I think my mom was like, I can't even. She couldn't even wrap her head around it. My dad worked full time the entire.
Would you have blamed your parents if they had taken some money from you and said, hey, look, we invested in your acting classes and stuff? I mean, it's really noble of them that they were broke and they didn't say to you, look, you're making some money here.
Or even try to better the family situation.
I know.
You had sort of a hefty bank account at that point.
I did.
Yeah.
I would never have blamed them. I've never been able to pay for dinner. Like, to this day, I've never, like, I'll be like, let's go out to dinner for your birthday, Dad. And then, like, he calls the restaurant before we get there and puts his card down. And I'm like, I'm a grown-ass woman. Like, I would love to treat you and Mommy to something. And they're like, no.
They won't let you spoil them at all?
Oh, my God, Howard. This has been a huge never.
What if you said to them, I want to help you with a new house or something? I want you to...
Howard.
Nothing.
I cannot stress to you how stubborn they are.
Wow.
And by the way, they're going to be listening to this going, that's right. Like,